All right, David Samson is with us. Check out his podcast, Nothing Personal. I'm excited to speak to David because I am wondering and have been wondering for a while the real long-term effects, David, of the Florida Panthers. If they were to win the Stanley Cup, what would that mean in terms of financial impact for that team, in terms of fans for that team? Because I think it's a great story. I'm just not certain how much it helps the Panthers moving forward, and you would know best.
Yeah, it's actually going to help them a lot because they're still trying to recover from the Yormark years. And people may not remember, he used to be the president of the Panthers. And while I was president of the Marlins, they would drive us crazy under previous owners because they were giving away sponsorships. They were giving away tickets. And it made it look as though they had all these corporate partners, but the actual revenue was so low. And when you give tickets away, it's then hard to charge for tickets. And then Vinny Viola came in, and he has really been an incredible owner with Matthew Caldwell as team president. And they have set up the team both on the ice and off the ice to capitalize on this stretch and this window with their second straight Stanley Cup appearance. Their revenue is up, their local gate revenue, and this coming at a time when the TV revenue, with the bankruptcy of Fox Sports Florida or Bally's or whatever you want to call it, but they're making up for it with corporate revenue, ticket revenue, and they're charging what they should be charging. And if they win the Stanley Cup, then they get to even increase prices more than just being in the Stanley Cup. So you could get a $50 million bump in your local revenue next year. And that's all because they've done it the right way. It's pretty cool to watch.
How much of a financial difference, David, is there in winning the Stanley Cup? Because we were talking yesterday and Chris Cody was saying, I'm happy with my team making it to the Stanley Cup final year after year. And we made a reference to the Buffalo Bills. Like, well, would you rather be the Buffalo Bills who make it to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row? Or would you rather be the team that wins a Super Bowl, but then is, not relevant 4 straight years making it to the championship? So I guess how much of a difference does the championship make over having sustained success?
Well, we talked about that with the Marlins and the Braves. You remember the Braves won one World Series during that huge run of
14 straight
division titles, yeah. 14 in a row. And the Marlins won 2 World Series, but never made the playoffs. And what we agreed, and I had this talk with John Scherholz, looking back, you want to be the Marlins and have the 2 rings and then be nowhere the other 12 years. Looking forward, you want to have the opportunity to get the rings, so you'd rather have the 14 straight playoff appearances. I'm sort of the mind, I'm looking back because there's way more time spent looking back in life than there is looking forward, depending on age. But in sports, that's the case. So I'd rather have the rings. When it comes to price increases, it really depends. Winning the cup allows you to charge more next year. But in terms of this year's revenue, it's about the number of home games hosted. So you want to host all 4 games this series if you are Florida. That means going to a game 7. Interestingly enough, given a choice to win the cup in 6 in Edmonton or come host in 7, if you can guarantee a win, you'd rather host in 7. But since you can't, you'd rather win it in Edmonton.
But I would think long term, though, like winning the championship also has a financial benefit in that you have a 10-year anniversary, a 15-year anniversary. You have merchandise that you can sell forever. Where if you're looking short term, like, yeah, we're in
Billy, you're
every
speaking
year.
his language. I mean, did you see how excited he got when he started talking about raising ticket prices?
And the Panthers are celebrating the 30th this year.
No, but you're celebrating the 30th of existing, right? But you can then celebrate the 10th. You'd celebrate the 50th year of the existing and the 20th year of winning a championship, right? And you offset that by a year or so. And then you just have these things that you can constantly be celebrating. You sell throwback jerseys and hats and patches and all of this stuff. And you have special days where if you make it to the Stanley Cup final 4 years in a row, you can raise ticket prices because there's the interest anyways, and you can say we're a contender every year. But if you don't win that championship, you miss out, I would think, on all that other future revenue, not just short term, but long term.
Yeah, winning is everything. Making it to the finals and losing, it's fun while you're doing that. But I've never gone to an event and seen anybody wear a pennant ring. Never seen one. And you get a ring for winning the pennant, for making it to the World Series. Never seen one.
I've never seen a pennant ring.
Right. Do you have yours?
Only a pennant.
No, you don't get it. When you get a World Series ring, you don't get a pennant ring.
Right.
You won the World Series.
What's the need for that when you have a World Series ring? Correct. Yes.
So Buffalo, I assume they've got a bunch of rings, but I don't think they wear them to bar mitzvahs.
Too soon.
They're not proud of those rings? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying you don't often see rings from the minor leagues as well. When you win a championship as team president, they send you a ring. And if I didn't have a World Series ring, I'd be more apt to wear those, but I don't wear those now.